My fiancée said, "Your daughter will distract from our day. It's about us, not kids when planning our child-free wedding." When I arrived and saw her twins, flower girls, and ring bearers, I asked loudly, "If kids distract from our day, why are yours here?" She went white as all 150 guests turned to stare. She had no idea I'd already seen the vendor receipts. "I'm David, 32, and I just called off my wedding in front of 150 people yesterday. Still processing what happened, but I need to get this out because the last 24 hours have been absolutely surreal. Saturday, 4:30 p.m. I'm standing at the altar of the Riverside Country Club watching my fiancée Amanda walk down the aisle in her $3,000 dress. Behind her, her twin boys Jake and Noah are dressed as ring bearers. Her niece is flower girl. Her nephew is carrying the rings. The same woman who spent 8 months telling me my daughter Lily couldn't attend because children would distract from our special day. But let me back up, because this disaster started way before yesterday. Been with Amanda for 2 years. Met her at a divorced parents support group, which should have been my first clue about how she really felt about kids. Both of us had custody arrangements. I have my daughter Lily every other weekend and Wednesday nights. She has her twin boys Jake and Noah on the same schedule. Those first few months were actually great. Amanda seemed to really understand the challenges of co-parenting, the guilt of splitting time between your kids and a new relationship. She'd say things like, "I love how dedicated you are to Lily, and it's so important that she feels secure in our relationship." We'd plan activities that included all 3 kids' zoo trips, movie nights, park days. Amanda would post Instagram stories about blended family adventures and love multiplied, not divided. Got hundreds of likes from other single parents calling us relationship goals. But around month 6, things started shifting. Amanda began posting more about adult time and maintaining your identity beyond parenthood. Not wrong concepts, but the way she talked about it started feeling different. "I think it's healthy for us to have child-free date nights," she'd say. "We need to nurture the couple relationships separately from the parent relationships." Made sense initially. We started getting babysitters more often, planning adults-only dinners. But gradually, any plans that included Lily became not quite what I had in mind. When I suggested taking all 3 kids to the amusement park, Amanda would counter with, "Maybe just us this time. I've been really needing some grown-up conversation." If I mentioned bringing Lily to family barbecues, it became, I was hoping for a more relaxed, adult atmosphere. The manipulation was subtle. She never said, "I don't want Lily around." Instead, it was always framed as relationship wisdom. Couples who maintain strong adult connections have better blended family outcomes, or it's important not to lose ourselves in constant kid-focused activities. She'd follow these suggestions with extra affection, planning surprise date nights, cooking elaborate dinners, talking about our future together. Made me feel like excluding Lily occasionally was just smart relationship management. Around month 8, Amanda started her Child-Free Spaces social media campaign. Posted constantly about restaurants, events, and venues that were adults only. Finally, a place where grown-ups can have sophisticated conversations without screaming children. She'd caption pictures of trendy bars and upscale restaurants. Her posts got tons of engagement from other parents who felt the same way. Started building this whole online persona around reclaiming adult spaces and celebrating child-free environments. But here's the thing: these posts never mentioned that she had kids herself. Her Instagram carefully curated an image of a sophisticated woman who appreciated refined, adult experiences. Anyone following her would think she was childless by choice. When I pointed this out, she said, "I don't have to broadcast every aspect of my life online. I'm building a brand around lifestyle content." The brand became more important than reality. She started declining family events if they were too kid-friendly, avoiding restaurants with children's menus, complaining about breeders who brought kids to inappropriate venues. I started feeling embarrassed about Lily's presence in spaces Amanda deemed too sophisticated for children. 8-year-olds are naturally excited and sometimes loud normal kid behavior that suddenly felt disruptive and inappropriate. The engagement happened 10 months ago. Amanda proposed this elaborate destination wedding plan adults-only resort in Napa Valley. "Just picture it," she said, showing me the venue photos. Sophisticated, elegant, no crying babies or screaming toddlers, pure romance. When I asked about the kids, she said, "They'll have a special sleepover with my sister. Kids love sleepovers more than weddings anyway." I felt uncomfortable but didn't know how to argue. Was I being unreasonable wanting my daughter at my wedding? Amanda made it sound like including kids was tacky, unsophisticated, selfish. Her wedding planning Pinterest boards were full of child-free wedding inspiration. Articles about how to politely exclude children, elegant ways to word, adults-only invitations, testimonials from couples who had perfect, uninterrupted celebrations. "This is our day," she'd say when I expressed doubts. "The most important day of our relationship. Don't you want it to be perfect?" The venue required a $15,000 deposit. Amanda insisted on paying it herself. "My gift to us," she said. "I want this to be absolutely flawless." 3 months into planning, I suggested maybe making an exception for immediate family kids, just Lily, Jake, and Noah. Amanda's response was swift. "David, we've already sent save the dates specifying adults only. We can't make exceptions without offending people who arranged childcare. Besides, your daughter will be bored at an elegant evening event." When I pushed back, she got emotional. "I feel like you don't trust my vision for our wedding. This is supposed to be about celebrating our love, not managing children all night." Made me feel selfish for wanting Lily there, like I was prioritizing my daughter over our relationship milestone. But something bothered me about how she phrased things. "Your daughter instead of Lily. Managing children instead of including family." Small word choices that felt distancing. 4 months ago, I overheard Amanda on the phone with the wedding planner. "Absolutely no children. Well, except for the wedding party roles, we'll need flower girl and ring bearer, but no random kids running around." I asked about it later. "I thought we agreed on completely child-free." "Wedding party is different," she explained. "Those kids have specific jobs. They're part of the ceremony, not guests who will cause disruptions." "Whose kids will be in the wedding party?" "My niece Maya is perfect flower girl age, and my nephew Connor would be adorable as ring bearer." "Her family's kids, not mine." When I pointed out the inconsistency, Amanda sighed dramatically. "David, there's a difference between children who are integral to the ceremony and random kids attending as guests. Maya and Connor will have roles and responsibilities. Your daughter would just be there." The phrase, "just be there," hit wrong. My daughter would just be there at my wedding, like an unwanted guest at my own marriage ceremony. But Amanda always had explanations that sounded reasonable on the surface. Wedding party kids would be supervised by their parents who had specific duties. They'd participate in rehearsals and understand their roles. Guest children would be unsupervised and potentially disruptive. 2 months ago, Amanda posted about visiting venues. "Finally found the perfect spot for child-free celebrations. Can't wait to dance without dodging tiny humans on the dance floor. Adult-time sophisticated celebrations." The post got 200+ likes and dozens of comments from friends praising her for prioritizing adult fun and knowing what she wants. I screenshotted it, feeling sick. My daughter was one of those tiny humans she wanted to avoid dodging. When I confronted her, Amanda looked genuinely confused. That post wasn't about Lily specifically. It was general wedding planning content for my followers. "But Lily is a child who won't be at our wedding." "David, you're taking social media posts too literally. I'm building engagement around wedding planning themes. It's not personal." Everything was not personal when I objected. My concerns were taking things too literally or misunderstanding the context. Made me feel like I was overreacting to normal wedding planning decisions. Last month, Amanda's sister called me directly. "Hey David, I'm confused about the wedding. Amanda asked me to watch Jake and Noah during the ceremony, but then said they might be in the wedding party. And what about Lily?" I explained the child-free policy and Amanda's family exception. Long pause. "That seems weird. Why wouldn't you want your own daughter there?" "Amanda thinks it's more sophisticated without kids." "But she's having my kids in the wedding party." "Different role, apparently." Another pause. "David, that doesn't sound right. You sure about this?" I wasn't sure about anything anymore. But we'd already paid deposits, sent invitations, planned the whole event around adults-only policy. 2 weeks ago, Amanda started posting wedding countdown content. Pictures of venue details, dress fittings, vendor meetings. One post showed her with Jake and Noah at their tuxedo fitting. "My handsome ring bearers getting fitted. Can't wait to see them walking down the aisle," comments poured in. "So cute. They'll be perfect. Family weddings are the best, family weddings. After 8 months of insisting our wedding needed to be child-free." I screenshot that post too, started keeping a folder of her contradictory content. Yesterday morning, wedding day. I dropped Lily off at her mom's house. She'd been asking for weeks why she couldn't come to Daddy's wedding. "Amanda wants it to be grown-ups only, sweetheart. But I'm good at weddings. I was flower girl for Uncle Mark." "I know, baby. Sometimes adults want quiet celebrations." "Will there be any kids there?" I paused. "Maybe a few with special jobs." Her face fell. "Why don't I get a special job?" I didn't have a good answer. Drove to the venue feeling like the worst father in the world. Arrived at 4 p.m. for photos, walked into the bridal suite area and immediately heard children's laughter. Amanda's twins were there in tiny tuxedos, her niece in a white dress, her nephew adjusting his bow tie. 4 kids, at our child-free wedding. I found Amanda getting her makeup finished. "Hey babe, why are there kids here? I thought we were child-free." "Wedding party, remember, they have to be here for photos and rehearsal." "Will they stay for the reception?" "Of course they're part of the family photos and first dances. Can't have wedding party disappear before dinner." My stomach dropped. "So kids will be at the reception." "Wedding party kids, David, not random children running around. There's a difference." But there wasn't a difference. Not really. Her kids would be there dancing, eating, celebrating. My daughter would be at her mom's house watching Disney movies. 4:30 p.m. ceremony starting. I stood at the altar watching Amanda's niece skip down the aisle dropping rose petals, her nephew carrying rings on a satin pillow, her twins walking behind her with matching smiles. A wedding full of children, just not mine. When Amanda reached the altar, I looked directly at her and said, loud enough for the front rows to hear, "If kids distract from our day, why are yours here?" Her face went white. The officiant looked confused. Amanda's mother gasped. "David, what are you doing?" Amanda whispered. "I'm asking about the child-free wedding that apparently isn't child-free." The guests were murmuring. Amanda's twins looked between us, confused. "This is different," she hissed. "We discussed this. We discussed no children. I see 4 children." I turned to face the congregation. "Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but this wedding is based on a lie." Pulled out my phone and read Amanda's Instagram post. "Can't wait to dance without dodging tiny humans on the dance floor." Then gestured to her twins. "Unless those tiny humans are hers, apparently." The murmuring got louder. Amanda grabbed my arm. "Stop this, you're ruining everything." "I'm exposing everything. My daughter is spending our wedding day at her mom's house because you said children would distract from our special day. But your children are ring bearers." Amanda's father stood up. "What's he talking about, Amanda?" "It's complicated, Dad. Wedding party is different than guests." "His daughter isn't good enough for wedding party." Amanda's grandmother called out. Silence. Amanda couldn't answer because there wasn't a good answer. I continued. "I have screenshots of every post where she complained about children at adult events. Every time she insisted our wedding be sophisticated and child-free, while planning roles for her own kids." Started showing screenshots to the front row. Amanda's child-free spaces posts, her complaints about tiny humans, her insistence that kids would ruin our perfect day. "David, please," Amanda was crying now, "you're misunderstanding everything." "Am I, because this looks like someone who wanted their kids included but mine excluded." Amanda's maid of honor stood up. "Is this true, Amanda? You excluded his daughter from your wedding." More silence. "Because it was absolutely true." Amanda's mother looked horrified. "Amanda, how could you not invite his daughter?" "It wasn't personal," Amanda sobbed. "I just wanted a perfect day." "Perfect for who?" I asked. "Because it's not perfect for me watching your kids celebrate while mine sits at home." The officiant tried to salvage things. "Perhaps we can discuss this privately and continue the ceremony." "No," I said, removing my boutonniere. I can't marry someone who would exclude my child from the most important day of my life while including her own. I walked down the aisle and out of the venue, left Amanda crying at the altar with 150 confused guests and 4 children she'd claimed would ruin our perfect day, drove straight to Lily's mom's house. Change of plans, sweetheart. Want to get ice cream and go to the park? What about your wedding, Daddy? Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes, baby, and I made a big mistake not bringing you with me. We spent the evening at Chuck E. Cheese. Lily was thrilled. I felt like myself again for the first time in months. Amanda called 47 times that night, left voicemails ranging from hysterical apologies to angry accusations. You humiliated me in front of my entire family over a misunderstanding. Not a misunderstanding. A deliberate choice to exclude my daughter while including hers. This morning, Amanda's sister texted, "For what it's worth, I thought it was weird that Lily wasn't invited. Amanda's been getting backlash from family all night." Apparently the wedding guests didn't disperse quietly. Amanda's own family started questioning her logic. Her grandmother reportedly said, "If you can't love his child, you shouldn't marry him." Amanda's wedding planning Instagram account lost 500 followers overnight. Comments on her old posts asking why she'd exclude her stepchild while including her own kids at the child-free wedding. Someone screen recorded my speech, and it's apparently making rounds on TikTok. Groom calls out bride's hypocrisy at altar or something like that. Got a call from the venue manager this morning. Mr. Davis just wanted you to know we'll be refunding the portion of your deposit that wasn't used. What you did took courage. Even strangers could see how wrong it was. Amanda texted this morning, "I hope you're satisfied destroying everything over one day. You chose your daughter over our entire future." I replied, "I chose my daughter over someone who would exclude her from my wedding. That's exactly the choice I should make." She hasn't responded. Lily asked me this morning if I was sad about the wedding. I told her I was sad it took me so long to realize what was important. "So no new mommy?" she asked. "Not that one, sweetheart. If Daddy ever gets married again, you'll be right there with me." She smiled and hugged me. "Good, I want to throw flowers." Looking back, all the red flags were there. The social media persona that excluded her own kids from her content. The gradual boundary setting that always excluded my daughter. The insistence that her family's children were different than mine. Most telling, she never once considered making Lily flower girl. Never suggested ring bearer role. Never asked if I wanted my daughter involved in our wedding ceremony, because she never intended for Lily to be part of our family. I was marrying someone who saw my daughter as an obstacle to overcome, not a person to love. Jake asked me if I regret calling off the wedding so publicly. Honestly, my only regret is letting it get that far. Should have seen who Amanda really was when she started posting about dodging tiny humans while planning her own kids' participation. The wedding might have been ruined, but my relationship with my daughter is stronger than ever. She knows I'll choose her every time. That's worth more than any marriage certificate. Amanda was right about one thing: it was about us, not kids. Problem was, Lily is part of us, whether Amanda liked it or not. She had no idea I'd already seen the vendor receipts showing 4 child meals ordered for the child-free reception. Funny how that works.